Hey guys, Dennis here. I'm with
Joey. How you doing?
And yesterday we were covering the Microsoft Xbox conference at the Microsoft Theater. We talked all about that. You can check out that video on this channel right now. Now we're talking Bethesda. Bethesda's conference happened a little later in the day. We're covering it now. We're going to run through some of the stuff. It started off with Rage 2.
Yeah. It started off well. It started off even before Rage 2. They had Andrew WK up there playing some music, and
it was weird. I was like,
sure.
I was like, what year is this? What, and it wasn't even Party Hard. It was like some other song that they're using for the Rage 2 teaser. Yeah. Look, I played the first Rage. I enjoyed it. It has a long history because John Carmack was overseeing that one. I don't think he's overseeing this one. It's a cool game. It's kind of a mix between the play mechanics of something like a Doom or a Quake,
right,
with that lineage. But then they try to add a little more RPG-like elements to it.
Okay,
Some
gotcha.
The vehicles I appreciated. The graphics were great when it came out on the 360, and it was fun to play. It's just after I was done, I kind of forgot about it. It just wasn't memorable.
Right, it didn't hook you as much.
The story and the characters were very thin. The gameplay was fun, but it just didn't hook me into that world. And now they're coming out with a second one, which it doesn't seem that different, though.
No, honestly, the Rage series was one that was lost on me. I remember the original trailer and then seeing this one for Rage 2. It feels like they've injected a little more humor into the franchise, at least from what I know of it being an outsider. So it's more appealing in that sense. That little tease of the collector's edition,
Yes.
which seemed like a joke at the time, but apparently it's real, like a $120 collector's edition where you can have a mounted mutant head on the wall. Like, sure.
I will not be getting that one.
Okay.
But yeah, and then they also announced Doom Eternal.
Yeah, well, they announced Doom Eternal, but they didn't really say much about it. They put up a teaser trailer, and then they said, you're going to get more at QuakeCon in August.
Yes.
So it's just one more example of how things are moving away from E3.
Yeah, but it makes sense for this particular franchise, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Quake and Doom, they fit more with QuakeCon. I think people at E3 are less interested. Not so much that they're not good games, but with Quake and Doom, it's just, very, at least to me, very similar play mechanics with different environments.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Like Doom, they're talking about like now they're gonna have twice as many demons in this one.
Right, and honestly, just getting a sequel to the Doom that was released in 2016. Someone's gonna fact check me on that.
Yeah.
But getting a sequel to that is exciting. I remember playing Doom in like 1993. I was way too young to be playing Doom when I did. It's always been a loved franchise, and to be getting more Doom games is great.
Yeah, and then Quake Champions they announced, Wolfenstein Youngblood. Did you play the last Wolfenstein?
I didn't play Youngbloods at all. Quake Champions has been available, but they made it a free-to-play thing this week. So literally right now, guys, you can go online, I believe at Bethesda.net, and sign up for Quake Champions. And if you get it now in this free-to-play week, you will keep free-to-play outside of this week. So get it now so that you can have it downloaded and play it whenever you want.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls Online, they had a DLC announcement.
Yeah.
Somerset.
They had Somerset, which has been announced for a little while, and then they had 2 new DLC announcements. Outside of that, they had Wolf Hunter, which is going to be werewolf hunting, literally. And then they had Murkmire, which is going to be a new story DLC.
Yeah. They also announced Blades, which is like mobile version of Elder Scrolls, but they claim, console quality graphics.
Console quality graphics, probably not console quality gameplay.
Yeah. And they were just kind of showing off the using your fingers on the actual touchscreen to maneuver and to attack and whatnot.
And listen, Bethesda has done some great mobile games before. We've seen with Fallout Shelter. Fallout Shelter is not an attempt to make a console game on a phone.
No.
It's an attempt to make a phone game with console IP, and that worked perfectly. I really loved Fallout Shelter up until Pokemon Go came around, and then that took away all of my free time on my phone and drained all my battery.
Yeah, I used to play Fallout Shelter all the time on my tablet. I liked it a little bigger size than my phone, just because with all the little rooms and everything. They announced that they were going to bring it to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So Fallout Shelter on the Switch, I think, would be really cool.
Yeah.
So one of the other things they did was they announced a bunch of stuff for Prey. They announced survival mode. They announced a new game plus. They announced a new DLC called Moon Crash. And they announced a 5v1 version called Typhon Hunter, where people are actually going to be playing as mimics. That sounds fun to me, honestly. I like the idea of being able to play as the mimics and hiding on the maps and things like that. It reminds me of I think it was Prop Hunter, or it was a Gary's Mod game from a while back that I personally really enjoyed. And to see that in Bethesda level quality is going to be real fun.
Yeah. And then before they announced all the details about Fallout 76, they kind of did a little skit or sketch video with Key from
that's
Key
right.
and Peele. With they were kind of making fun of the fact that they were doing all these different versions of Skyrim, right? And then so they were making fun that we're going to do a Alexa version, Amazon Alexa version. So they had Key talk to Alexa and try and play the game through it.
I don't understand. You're telling me that's not real?
Yeah.
You're telling me I can't play Skyrim on my Amazon Echo?
Yeah, and also Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh yeah, on Etch-a-Sketch. Yeah, that's right. Alexa, Fusro Da.
So also with, then they actually got into Fallout 76. We're actually going to do a separate video where we go into more details about it. But Todd Howard came out to make the announcement and then go into the details. They showed an extended trailer, something a little more, showing more of the gameplay. Takes place, way before. He said it was a prequel. Online. It's not online only, though.
It's not online only. Yeah. Well, so he came out for his announcement for Fallout 76. One of the things that got me is, as he was doing that announcement, it was the exact same word-for-word announcement that he'd done on the Xbox stage, and we went into the same trailer that we saw on the Xbox stage. And then that stopped, and then he got rolling on everything new, everything that we wanted to know about Fallout 76.
Yeah, he had talked about the online aspect, playing with different people. He said, dozens of people, not hundreds, not thousands.
Yeah.
Also, you can play solo. You can build camps and forts, and
you can build anywhere theoretically. Now, I'm interested to see how that works, especially when you're online. People are going to be building in different spots, and all of a sudden you're online together, and you might have built things in the same spot. And how does that, rectify itself? And what you were talking about with how you change the world as a player. Yeah. How is that going to work when two people are making different decisions?
Yeah, that's I think my biggest concern. How they get that right. If you complete a quest, your friend doesn't, you guys play a game together.
Yeah,
is that quest still available?
Is that person around? Yes. Is it not? Other games have been able to handle it, but they're tackling this in a different way. So I think this is going to be an interesting. I really hope that we get more of a persistent world like we have in Bethesda and Fallout games before, when you have only a single player experience. But if they do it the same way that Destiny works, in that things just respawn and you can do missions over and over again, it might be the nature of the beast, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll get more details on it. Also, they have nukes in this one.
Oh yeah, that might be their way of just wiping the map. Is this server's getting too complicated, nuke it.
Yeah. And then one of the other things they announced was the Collector's Edition, which was going to have a glow-in-the-dark map, and then they actually were going to have a power helmet.
Yeah, it's going to sit and play in your power helmet.
I will be buying that Collector's Edition. I know it's going to probably cost like $150. Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing that sold me on that is that it was wearable.
Yes.
Because when
you could do a voice modulation too.
Yeah. Well, when I think it was a Halo 2 Collector's Edition, maybe it was Halo 3, that came with a Master Chief helmet. It was really just a slide-over case for the game. It wasn't actually wearable. You'd have to Dremel and hollow it out. Not that I did that, you guys. I didn't sit there and play Halo wearing a Master Chief helmet. Let's move on, shall we?
Then they announced, after Fallout 76, which we'll talk more about in another video, they announced a new franchise, which is a new property for them that they created. They haven't created a new one in like 20-something years.
Yeah, they said 25 years since they'd had an original IP.
They've acquired other IPs, right?
Yes.
But they haven't created their own. And this one's called Starfield. They had a short little teaser for it. All you saw was like a planet and then a little satellite, and that was it. Starfield. We don't know what it is yet. I'm guessing it's going to be like a Elder Scrolls / Fallout, but
in space.
A sci-fi version. Imagine like Mass Effect setting, but using the play mechanics of...
Yeah, what Mass Effect is to Dragon Age, this is going to be that to Elder Scrolls. And if that's the case and it's just as simple as that, I'm fine with that.
If it's different, I'm interested to see, but I just don't see them deviating from the kind of FPS / RPG open world that they are so good at.
It did not have the feel of something like a Quake or a Doom, where they have been in the sci-fi realm, but that's mostly, id's doing, not Bethesda outright. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what it looks like, but that's not the only game that they announced.
Yeah, and then finally they announced the game that everyone wanted to hear about but wasn't sure, which was Elder Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls 6.
They showed a teaser, much like the Starfield one. It was just kind of the world. They showed you the world. They played the theme song. They flashed Elder Scrolls 6. Everyone went crazy.
I love that online people are already trying to figure out where on the map that is based on the shots. Like you can see a bay and you can see a couple mountains. So it's somewhere like on the northwestern coast of the world. And I love that people are so such big fans of that franchise.
Yeah. So that was I think the biggest not surprise, but announcement that people were waiting for but weren't sure about. All in all, how do you feel about the Bethesda press conference?
I think that it started kind of slow, but the second that Todd Howard came out, he is a charismatic guy, and he knows how to talk to his audience. And this was something, it really showed that he could connect. The amount of jokes that came out. The one thing that I really loved was the very first thing that popped up was Rage 2, and they were joking about the fact that we all already knew about it because of Walmart Canada. Yeah. And then Todd Howard joking about putting Skyrim on Alexa and things like that. Fallout 76 is my big takeaway, though. Really seeing what that's going to be. There's so much that we have not talked about. New creatures, the Scorch Beast, things like that. We're going to talk about that in another video. We've got plenty more videos through E3 coverage. There's so much that we're going to try and talk about everything if we can.
Yeah, for me the big takeaway was, I think Microsoft, their press conference was obviously the most polished presentation, the most diverse type of games. Bethesda for me was favorite, obviously, because I love Fallout, and so any details and new footage that I get, and also just hearing what the online aspect of it was, there's fears of a battle royale mode, which I think were allayed because it's not. That's not what it is. Yeah, it almost seems like you're just playing the regular game, but you get to play it
We've survived one.
With a friend. But yeah, Bethesda for me was my favorite. It wasn't, the presenters besides Todd Howard, they were not stale. They weren't comfortable, right? I mean, that's not their job, right?
They're developers, yeah. Their jobs are to make good games. Their jobs are not to stand up and sell the good games that they make. There's going to be a bunch of cringe montages after E3, and Bethesda's conference will probably be on there.
Yeah, and they're not in a big, not in the Microsoft Theater, in this tent that's set up weird with, the
space was weird and all that.
There's people in the front and then people actually behind that the presenters aren't actually looking at. So it wasn't as polished. It's not, the games weren't as,
but the games themselves,
if
the
you
stuff
love
that they
Bethesda's
showed,
games, then you'll love this press conference because they had plenty to talk about.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's exciting. I'm excited for more E3 coverage. We've got a bunch more coming your way. Like we said, we're going to do a video specifically on Fallout 76. Dennis, what else we got?
Then we're going to cover the Ubisoft conference, the Square Enix press conference, the Sony PlayStation press conference, and then we're going to go hit the floor on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and get hopefully some footage from interviews and also footage from games that are coming out. All right, guys, so stay tuned. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/ColliderGames. Joey, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Joey Rassool, RASSOOL.
And you can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero or Instagram, Dennis.tzng. And we'll see you guys on the next video.